This is Got the Fix-It Guy. Today we have a Frigidaire dishwasher that is not responding to the start button. All the other lights work, but when you press start, nothing happens. We want to make sure we unplug it or turn off the breaker. Probably the touchpad, the keys are messed up. Probably have to put in a new touchpad, but there's a little procedure you could try first. So we have to get to the ribbon cable that's underneath the touchpad. So we're going to take off all these screws on the inside perimeter of the door so we can separate the door into two halves. So these are just Torx 15 screws. We're going to zip all these out, and then we can separate the door into two halves, and then we can get off a little cover that's in the way, and then we can get to the ribbon cable. We're going to see if the ribbon cable might be corroded. It's probably the little buttons, the start button itself is just worn out. It's also good to test the door switch. So we're going to have to get this little plastic cover off. We have to push in on this tab, and then we can lift this black cover off that is protecting the door switch and the control panel. So here's the door switch. I have my meter set for continuity, and I'm just pushing it in on the contacts, and I should be able to hear the auditory signal saying that the electricity can flow through the door switch when it's in the closed position. As I push down, it's closing the switch, and both sides of the switch sound really good. So I know it's not the door switch. Good thing to test though. And next, what I want to do is remove these screws that hold in the controller, and then I can get to the ribbon cable underneath it. So there's just two 1/4-inch screws. We zip those out. Then we can lift the controller out. And the ribbon cable is just hooked into the controller. Mainly it's just in there with friction, so you just want to grab it and pull up a little bit on one side and then pull up a little bit on the other side, and just do that about 3 or 4 times until it releases. Just take your time. And then we're going to look at where the ribbon cable comes out of the touchpad near the plastic to see, because it looks like there's some corrosion there. That's just probably from steam that builds up. But you could try cleaning this corrosion, and sometimes that'll get the touchpad working again instead of buying a new one. So I'm just using a pencil eraser to clean up these contacts. This is on the underside of the ribbon cable, and then I'm going to rub it against my jeans to clean off the junk that's on the eraser, and then I'll clean the contacts again. I'll just go back and forth. It's good to just rub it on your jeans to clean off the junk that it collects, and just do that, and it'll keep getting these copper leads cleaner and cleaner. So most often you do have to replace these touchpads because they just don't last forever, but it's worth a try to clean these leads on the ribbon cable. We can see that the corrosion's a little bit better, especially this lower one was pretty dirty. You can use a little electrical cleaner, will work too. And once we've done that, we're just going to reassemble everything. So we'll put the ribbon cable back into the controller. Make sure you push it all the way down securely on both sides and the middle, so it's really in there. And then we're going to put the controller back into position and put the screws back in to hold it. If you do get a new touchpad, this is also the same procedure you can use to change the touchpad. They're kind of expensive though, so it's worth trying this first. Putting those 1/4-inch screws back in. Put the door switch back into position. And then we're going to put that black plastic cover that covers the door switch and the controller. Kind of helps to hold the door switch in position. So putting that back on. Push it down till it clicks. There's a little tab in the front. There's the tab in the back. And then we got to put this little cover back on. This is on the inside part of the door. And then we can close the halves together again. So we just take the two halves of the door, push them back together, and then we'll just put the screws back in. Close those up. Slip all the screws in. So we get all the peripheral screws back into position. Close it up and give it a try. All right, so I hope that helps you, and please subscribe when you get a chance.